Now, there are many tributes to George Michael, tribute acts performing his music, performing in his style. But when the people who have been part of his singing career, doing backing vocals and being part of the shows, are going to perform his music, you know it is going to be special. The 10th of December in London is going to bring some absolutely magic to your ears, all taking place at the Shepherd's Bush Empire. Shirley Lewis and Joe Garland are here to tell us about what's in store. How you doing?
Yeah,
Good,
hello.
good.
Hi.
We've had a mega busy day, but we're happy to be here with you. So thank you for having us.
Well, it's so good to have
Good.
you along. And as you have singers who have performed with George Michael, obviously, you know how these songs are supposed to sound live. Sadly, George isn't here to share them with us, but you and the team know exactly how to bring this music to life.
We do, we do. You know, we've all, collectively we've all worked with him for over 35 years,
Mm.
something like that. And you know, he taught us how to sing those songs. You know, his songs, sorry. And yeah, we are the George Michael sound because of him and what he's taught us over the years.
Yeah.
You know, there's a specific tone, diction, you know, dynamically, how we phrase, timing, emotion behind it, because you can't not sing those songs without any kind of emotion, because, you know, he's such a genius lyrically. You know, you just tap into all those lyrics and it's, you know, that just brings out so many, and they mean so much to so many different people. So it's yeah, he's iconic in so many and on so many levels.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He's just it's not something that um you can't mimic it really unless you've actually spent time with George. And I know there are a ton of tribute acts out there and they do a fantastic job. And I think it's great for the fans to be able to connect with them and get a feeling of their idol and enjoy those evenings. But our show is it's very different. It's definitely more of an emotional connection that we had with George that we'll be sharing, because we're sharing our stories from recording in the studio to being on tour with him. So, you know, there's a lot of fun and laughter in all of that, because we had such a great time and he was the funniest guy and had the best sense of humor. But there's also there's a lot of sadness too, because, you know, without George, there's a massive hole in our lives, and we're attempting to fill that hole with connecting with the fans, singing all together again, and just bringing that his magic really back to the stage.
Yeah.
It's going to be a slightly different format, isn't it? So people aren't just going to hear the songs again, they're going to hear stories that perhaps people haven't heard before as well, aren't they?
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's why we've called it an evening with, because we, you know, there's different intervals that each of us, the four of us, have entered into George's world, or vice versa. So we've each got, you know, our own interpretations of how we entered into his life, and he, you know, so that, but also each song has links into, well, different. There's just different stories, aren't they? And you know, it's, yeah, we're going to take the audience on a very emotional journey.
Yeah, it's definitely, and that's exactly what it is. That Joe said, it's a journey. It's our journey. This through our eyes of how we connected with him and grew with him from, you know, the boy from Wham. You know, the boy from Wham did good. It's like who knew that he was going to become such an iconic star, and we kind of watched him grow through that time. And yeah, it's going to, honestly, there are so many stories. You know, mine starts from the Wham final and recording with him, and Joe came in a slightly different way, because you actually signed to his label.
Yeah, I signed to his label at the very early age of 20. And yeah, there's a huge story behind that and how that happened. And then so I fell into kind of doing backing vocals for him. He just called me up one day and just said, "Oh, you fancy coming down to do some backing vocals?" And that was the Fast Love. And that, so, and I ended up singing on the whole of the older album, and continuing through until you know, until
Yeah, which I'm
his
still not
passing.
really going to forgive him for that. I mean, nobody asked you and not me. I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
happy.
You've got the what do you got, the
I got
father
the faith,
figure?
yeah,
You've
I've got faith
got
in
the
Lucia,
faith.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He likes to
There's a
spread
nice
it
balance.
around, yeah.
There's a nice balance.
With the four of you, though, I mean, Shirley Lewis, Joe Garland, Lucy Jules, and Jay Henry as well. And
Yeah.
how do you split out who gets to be lead on any of the songs as you perform
I
them?
think it's dependent on song choice, and who is attached emotionally to that song, what story is attached to that song, at the time of it. You have to come and see the show to see. Yeah, and you know, we sing collectively, you know, we sing individually. It's a real mix, but you know, the truth, you know, there is you can't, there's no denying that there is the George Michael sound is there. It's like, you know, the essence of George Michael is there. I mean, he taught us how to sing his songs, so it's like, it's almost like he's there with us when you listen, when you hear it.
Yeah, it was interesting actually. Tonight we did a TV show. I'm not going to mention the station in case I can't on your podcast, but we and they did a clip of us just singing in our rehearsal room, which is where we are now, and it cut to the 25 Live tour, and I was like, whoa, there's actually no degeneration in sound.
Yeah.
Which was pretty phenomenal. I mean, there's not a lot of people that you can listen to and then cut to an actual
from a rehearsal room to an
actual live performance that's been recorded. And I was like, whoa, that actually, we sounded pretty good. I was really happy with that.
Are you slightly nervous? Because I know you've been singing these songs for years, but obviously this is to do him justice and to bring him to life, as it were. So are you slightly nervous as well as probably being excited?
Not one little
No.
No.
I was nervous. I've had a bit of anxiety with regards to, I think, sort of, you know, just making sure that everything is right. You know, we've had a lot of, you know, this has been quite a long journey for myself and Shirley. We've just like, oh right, let's do a gig. Woo, there we go. Right, you know, it's like it's been a long process, and you know, and we've wanted to get it right every step of the way, and so within those different processes, there's been a bit of a level of anxiety, and you know, we've the George Michael estate, you know, they've been incredibly supportive. We wanted to make sure that we've honoured George and they're happy with everything that we do. So that, you know, so that was that was anxiety a bit there. So it's just that, you know, but now all of that kind of stuff is done, and we're now into actually the show. I'm now starting to go, oh, I'm really enjoying this now, and so my nerves have definitely subsided. Shirley's just
the music
super
is
cool.
And the music is really like, it's everything leading up to it and making sure that we've done everything right, because George was a perfectionist and he wouldn't want anything done, you know, like half-assed. So I was more nervous about just getting, you know, the musicians, which actually I've left completely to Jo because she was brilliant at it. So it's just making sure that everything was right in that respect. But as far as getting up and singing the songs and doing what I've been doing with him, but without him, I feel confident in my performance of the songs won't change from the way I performed them with George. So I do feel confident in that, and I'm very confident in the other singers. We have a definite magic. When we sing together, we all kind of just automatically go to those parts that are right for us, and it sounds amazing. Come and see the show.
That does sound very good.
But I mean, this is all helped for that. You've got George's musical director, Steve Sidwell, with you too.
Well, it doesn't hurt. And I don't know if you know that, but Steve was actually the trumpet player who was in the section at the Wham final. So that's how long Steve's known him as well.
Yeah. So, no, he was definitely the first, you know, absolute ultimate go-to. I mean, musically, it's just a genius. He's like, I sort of class him as God bless Quincy Jones' soul. But I always say that Steve Sidwell is like our UK Quincy Jones.
He's
And
amazing.
he is just an absolute genius. I have so much respect for him. He's super calm.
Yeah.
He's so lovely.
He's so lovely,
He's
and he's just the talent, and he deals with us messaging him, Steve, we want this, we want that. He's like, I've done it. It's
fine.
okay.
Don't worry.
But
That's
yeah,
fine.
he is in his capable hands. I'm really not worried about the musicality of the show because it's going to totally be on point.
And what can you give us a hint on what sort of songs you're going to be singing? Is there going to be a Christmas
Absolutely
one in
not.
there? You need to do Last Christmas.
Well, we were thinking about it's Christmas, it's a Christmas show, shall we put it in? However, well, you're not that familiar with Last Christmas, are you? Really?
No, I'm not. But though we went over that today, actually.
Yeah.
But are we doing that one? Well, we don't know. We haven't decided whether we're doing that one.
No, there'll be a little a Christmassy vibe.
Put it this way: we're doing it from repertoire from Faith to Symphonica with a couple of Wham surprises thrown in. Say no more.
I have to
It's
say,
just got a huge amount of songs though, hasn't it, to choose from. I imagine it was difficult to try and narrow it all down as to which
what's
one
your
you wanted to
favourite?
do.
What's your favourite Wham song?
I don't think it's Wham and Mother's Pride. It was a B-side, I think, and I absolutely love it.
Wow!
Yeah, it's amazing.
Love
Is that a
that.
surprise?
Love that. It's a surprise to me.
Yeah. We could do a tour of all his B-sides. That'd be quite interesting.
Well, I mean, this is the thing.
B-side.
Is this going to turn into a tour? Obviously, we want to see this the first time, but I think people will want to be in Shepherd's Bush because the venue itself is iconic and it fits so well with the music, doesn't it? But this is something which we're hoping is going to grow into a huge UK, possibly global tour.
Well, we would.
we would love that.
We would love to. It takes, anyone that's been involved in shows. It takes a lot to get it going. So,
and it takes a big amount of cojones to actually to do what we're doing. It's actually your first show in London. I mean, it's like it's pretty brave.
Yeah.
It's pretty brave.
You mostly like a band would, you go out and you do a few regional things, and then you do your London.
Yeah, you do
show
little testy. But no, we're going straight in at the deep end. But we've it's pretty much sold out. So we're super proud.
Yeah.
But he's an amazing talent and a genius. So you just it's yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
We're also excited. Like the thing about when you said about am I nervous about doing it? I'm not nervous about doing it. I'm more nervous about my emotions because I'm the emotional one in a band, and I cry at any little thing. And as soon as I start talking about Georgia, I have to say something, and I'm crying. So everyone's like my backup. So I said to him, okay, if I start talking then I start crying, you have to take over this. Or if I'm going to sing a song but I can't sing it because I'm like, then they have to do it. Yeah, I'm rubbish really, but I don't know, my heart on my sleeve.
Well, this is going to be an absolutely huge event. Tickets are available via Live Nation. Just search for the show. And you're guaranteed emotion. You're going to be hearing the people who know these songs almost as well as George Michael did himself. Are you going to chat as well as George Michael?
What?
No, I was going to actually say, but what's the date of the show?
Oh, it is the town. Well, getting to that bit. It is
sorry.
It's Tuesday, the 10th of December. You absolutely have to be there. It's the O2 Shepherd's Bush Empire. That's what that's what we need to know.
You got a gold star.
Well, one thing I have to say, and any fans that have been to George's show know that he was absolutely rubbish with his own lyrics. He's like so many.
So we need you all to sing along so you can help us with the words.
I know you're going to absolutely rock this one. All for your love of George, the audience's love of the music, and the fact that no one else on the planet can perform this the way you guys can.
Oh,
As
thank you.
we're sadly missing the main man, but you're going to do him proud. We absolutely know that. Shirley Lewis, Joe Garland, and the rest of the gang. I think it is going to be a piece of sort of theatre too, because you're going to be sharing so much of yourselves, and there will be emotion there. So I'll say, break a leg, have a great time singing on stage, and this is an absolute go-to. Shepherd's Bush Empire, Tuesday, the 10th of December. It is worth making a good few days trip down there and pay homage to the amazing music of George Michael. An evening
Oh,
with the George Michael singers. Thank you so much for doing this.
oh,
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Cheers.